Hi, in this Groove workshop, I'll show you some cool graphics features in Groove. I built this project earlier to demonstrate these features. Up here at the top I have a custom caption bar. Here is an image indicator showing tank level that I've connected to this slider so you can see it in action. Notice as I lower my tank level, my LED goes from blue to yellow and then to red. You can assign 2, 3, or more states for LEDs. This tank also serves as a graphical page navigation link from this overview screen to this detail screen, which also has a graphical return link. On this detail screen I added an image indicator gadget to show the opened closed states of a release valve that is actuated by this button. Here I have some LED indicators and buttons for various font and graphic sizes. And I took the drain valve one step further by making this graphic a clickable button to open and close the drain valve. Let me show you how I did this. Let's go back to my overview page and then to Groove build mode. Now, to set up the custom caption bar, I go to Configure and then Project. Down here in the styling section, you can choose the logo and also indicate colors for the bar. Let's change the colors first. I'll leave the menu color the default gray and make the caption bar blue to match my water theme and the logo that I'm going to bring into next. Now I'm going to choose a custom logo from here. Once I click this, the image library will come up. The image library is where you store and manage all the images in your Groove project. You can use the same image in several places, and if you change that image, it's automatically updated everywhere. Here's my logo for the caption bar. We recommend that when you're using a logo, the image be 135 pixels by 35 pixels. Okay. Notice up here, above where you set your logo, you now have the option to freeze the caption bar. If you check this box, the caption bar will stay visible at the top of the screen, even if you scroll down. I'll hit Save Settings, and we're ready to start building our pages. I've created a starter page already. Now I'll add some enhancements. First, I'll show you how to create a graphical link. Find the link gadget and drag it onto the page. Indicate which Groove page or URL you want to link to. Select the Display Mode menu, and you see options for text, button, and image. This is how the link would appear as a button. And I have a variety of text styles and button colors I could apply. However, here I want to use an image. Click the Image property to open up the image library. I could add an image by clicking Add Image, but since I've already loaded the graphics I need, I'll scroll till I find the image I want. I'll select the return arrow graphic. Our page navigator needs only a little resizing, which is easy to do with Groove's grid. Let's test this page navigator. Choose Save All Changes and switch to Groove View. Click the image. We will go back to the overview page. Since I already did the same thing on this page, I need only click this tank, which is my link back to my detail page. Now let's build an image indicator for the release valve. Choose Switch to Groove Build from the menu. The image indicator will display graphics to represent values or ranges. Let's find the image indicator under the gadget palette and drag it onto the page. Now click the gadget. Let's assign a tag first, because the type of variable used as a tag will determine the options for the image indicator. I'm using the data simulator for this demonstration, so I'll open up the list of basic variables. You can see some Boolean, float, and integer 32 variables. I'll choose Boolean variable A and hit Update Gadget. Now let's choose Add Image. The image library appears from where we can find one of 2 images I loaded earlier to represent my release valve. Here it is. I'll select the closed image. Notice that some new properties are now displayed with this image. A Boolean can be true or false. My property default is false, which is the state I'll assign to the closed image. So no changes are needed. Notice that I could also change the opacity. This is handy if you want to make an object appear and disappear or fade. I'm not doing that, so I'll leave the opacity at 100. Now I'll add the true image. Click Add Image. Find the true image. Here it is. Select Release Valve Open. Change false to true. And let's place the image gadget. Click, drag, resize, use the arrow keys if you like. Let's test this. Choose Save All Changes and switch to Groove View. my release valve button is assigned to the same tag as this button. Click the button on and off. You'll notice that the valve pops open and closed. Return to Groove Build. In this user interface, I wanted to create visual reminders to the operator that the release valve must be open before it's safe to drain the tank. So both of these LEDs indicate the release valve state. Button 1, I set the off color to red and relabeled it Drain Valve Ready. It will be red until the release valve is open. I also want to change the size of the buttons and the LED indicators while keeping all of the text the same size. Let's enlarge the Drain Valve Ready LED. Select Text Size menu. Instead of Auto, choose a text size. Try 12. Nope, 12's too big. Let's try 10. Now the text is locked at 10. Now expand the LED. This will make the LED larger because its size is still automatically controlled, but I could override that under the graphic size property. Now I have a nice large LED to indicate the ready state. Let's do something similar with my drain valve button. Drag it larger. Notice the text got larger too. Let's put it back. Click Text Size and select 10. Let's do the same for the release valve button. And now let's make the draining indicator extra large. Resize and restore the text to 10. Let's test our work. Okay, that works. Now let's add one more thing. Let's add that graphical version of the drain valve button. Switch back to build mode. All buttons can be displayed as buttons or graphics. This means the button gadget, the command button, and the momentary button. Let's create a graphical button using the one we've already have on this page. Click the drain valve button. Right-click and choose Duplicate. Drag it to about where we'll use it. Now let's change its display mode to Image. Notice now that I have two states to provide images for. Let's get the on state first. Again, I preloaded the images I would need. Let's find my valve. Here it is. Notice that I'm using an image that, like a real valve, uses the handle direction to indicate open and closed states. Select Pipe Valve Open. Now let's provide the off state. Click the image property, scroll to and select Pipe Valve Closed. Now let's resize and reposition the button. Okay. Now let's test. Save changes and switch to Groove View. Click my button on and off. Let's return to my overview page to look at the tank indicator and the LED. The tank is two images stacked on top of each other. The top image is a page navigation link. Let me drag it aside. Underneath it is an image indicator. If I select the image indicator, you can see its properties. The tag is float variable A. Choosing a float enables me to include as many images for as many conditions as I wish to define. I defined 11 states to display when my tank goes from 0 to 100% full. The image indicator will look for the first image that matches the current value starting at the bottom. If the value is equal to or greater than 95, it will show this bottom image. If lower, it will check the next images until it finds a match. Let's look at the range definition. Three options, exact, range, and negate, allow you to anticipate a variety of conditions. Exact is for showing a graphic when the value is equal. Range allows you to define a range by lower limit, that's the minimum value, and the upper limit, or both. I defined this range to 95 as the minimum, but I could have defined a maximum if I had wanted. And negate lets me show a graphic when the tag does not equal a value or is outside the defined range. Let's drag my tank back to its place. Notice that I put the tank in front of the tank level image indicator gadget so that you can click the tank to navigate. Let's look at the LED of the tank level. Since the LED is connected to a float variable, same if it were an integer, I can define any number of states. You can see that I have a blue indicator if the value is equal to or greater than 30, yellow if less than 30 and greater than or equal to 10, and red if less than 10. And I could add more ranges too by clicking Add Range and use different colored LEDs if I wanted to. I made changes to the detail page that I want to adjust for my handheld view. Let's return to the detail page and choose handheld. You can see my new gadgets were added. Let's position them. I'll move the drain valve out of my way, resize, center this up. I'll put it here. I'll move the release valve up here, center things up, line up my buttons if they need it, and the LEDs. Okay, I'm done. Now let's go to File, Save All Changes, and switch to Groove View to check it out. And here's what it looks like on my smartphone. For more tips and tricks, check out the other Groove workshops on groov.com. Thanks.